On April 25, 2025, America witnessed an unprecedented assault on its judicial system. Judge Hannah Duggan, a respected Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge, was arrested by the FBI. The charges? Obstruction of an immigration arrest operation. This arrest sent shockwaves through the nation, raising concerns about judicial independence. Judge Duggan became a symbol of the administration's growing authoritarianism. Her arrest was not an isolated incident. It unfolded against a backdrop of escalating attacks on the judiciary. President Trump had long targeted judges who ruled against his policies. This hostility created a climate of fear and intimidation. The arrest of Judge Duggan marked a dangerous escalation. It sent a chilling message to judges across the country. This attempt to intimidate judges struck at the heart of American democracy. The arrest of Judge Duggan was a stark reminder of the fragility of democratic institutions. It highlighted the importance of a robust and independent judiciary. The events of April 25, 2025, served as a wake-up call. Attorney General Pam Bondi, a staunch Trump loyalist, emerged as a key figure in the administration's crackdown on the judiciary. Her rhetoric painted a disturbing picture of an executive branch determined to bend the judiciary to its will. Bondi's pronouncements sent shockwaves through the legal community, raising serious concerns about the rule of law. She publicly labeled judges who ruled against the administration as enemies of the people. Bondi's actions were a direct assault on the separation of powers, a cornerstone of American democracy. Her tenure marked a dark chapter in the history of the Justice Department. Her willingness to weaponize the law for political ends undermined the rule of law. The arrest of Judge Duggan and the rhetoric of Attorney General Bondi were not isolated incidents. They were part of a broader pattern of attacks on judicial independence by the Trump administration. This assault on the judiciary represented a grave threat to the rule of law. Trump exhibited open hostility towards the judiciary, attacking judges who ruled against him. This undermined public trust in this vital institution. The Trump administration's actions had far-reaching consequences. It eroded public trust and created a climate of fear within the judiciary. Section 4. Echoes of Authoritarianism, Historical Parallels to Trump's Tactics. The Trump administration's attacks on the judiciary were eerily reminiscent of tactics employed by authoritarian regimes throughout history. By seeking to undermine judicial independence and silence dissent, Trump followed a well-worn path towards authoritarianism. Authoritarian regimes typically view an independent judiciary as a threat to their power. They recognize that a judiciary capable of holding the executive branch accountable poses a significant obstacle to their control. Consequently, they often target the judiciary early in their reign, seeking to undermine its legitimacy and independence. The tactics employed by the Trump administration mirrored those used by authoritarian regimes throughout history. These tactics included publicly attacking judges, undermining the legitimacy of the courts, and attempting to pack the courts with loyalists. These actions served as a stark warning sign of the Trump administration's authoritarian tendencies. The parallels between the Trump administration's actions and those of authoritarian regimes were deeply troubling. They highlighted the fragility of democratic institutions and the importance of vigilance in safeguarding those institutions from authoritarian encroachment. Section 5. A Climate of Fear, the Chilling Effect on the Judiciary. The Trump administration's relentless attacks on the judiciary had a chilling effect on judges across the country. The arrest of Judge Duggan, the inflammatory rhetoric of Attorney General Bondi, and the constant barrage of criticism from the White House created an atmosphere of fear and intimidation within the judiciary. Judges, once accustomed to making decisions free from political interference, now found themselves under intense scrutiny. The fear of being publicly attacked, investigated, or even arrested for their rulings weighed heavily on their minds. This fear inevitably influenced their decision-making process, eroding judicial independence. The chilling effect of the Trump administration's attacks on the judiciary extended beyond individual judges. It permeated the entire judicial branch, creating a culture of self-censorship. Judges became hesitant to rule against the administration, even when the law clearly dictated such a ruling. This climate of fear had a detrimental impact on the rule of law. It undermined the judiciary's ability to serve as a check on executive power, tilting the balance of power dangerously in favor of the executive branch. Section 6. Public trust eroded, the consequences of undermining the courts. The Trump administration's assault on the judiciary had profound consequences for American democracy. By undermining judicial independence and eroding public trust in the courts, the administration weakened one of the pillars of a functioning democracy. Public trust is essential for the legitimacy and effectiveness of any judicial system. When citizens lose faith in the impartiality and fairness of the courts, the entire system is undermined. The Trump administration's relentless attacks on the judiciary eroded public trust in the courts, jeopardizing their ability to function effectively. The erosion of public trust in the judiciary had far-reaching consequences. It undermined the rule of law, as citizens became less likely to respect judicial decisions. It also fueled political polarization, as different segments of society lost faith in the ability of the courts to resolve disputes fairly. The Trump administration's assault on the judiciary left a lasting legacy of damage. Rebuilding public trust in the courts and restoring the judiciary's independence will be a long and arduous process, requiring a sustained commitment to the rule of law and the principles of judicial independence. Section 7. A fragile democracy, safeguarding judicial independence for the future. The arrest of Judge Dugan served as a stark reminder of the fragility of American democracy. It highlighted the importance of a robust and independent judiciary, capable of holding even the most powerful accountable. Safeguarding judicial independence is not a partisan issue. It is fundamental to the preservation of American democracy. Protecting judicial independence requires a multi-pronged approach. It demands vigilance from citizens, who must hold elected officials accountable for their actions and defend the judiciary from unwarranted attacks. It requires a commitment from the legal profession to uphold the rule of law and resist attempts to politicize the courts. And it necessitates a judiciary that is fiercely independent, committed to upholding the Constitution and resisting encroachment from other branches of government. The events of April 25, 2025 should serve as a wake-up call. They remind us that democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires active participation and unwavering defense from all citizens. The future of American democracy depends on our collective commitment to safeguarding the institutions that protect our freedoms, including an independent judiciary.